welcome to Falcons Ledge. I'm Ostringer, and today we are going to be doing an unboxing of the Virpil WarBRD-D Gimbal. And I've been really excited about this. It's been back ordered for a while. It's going to be pretty cool to be able to test the entire Virpil line of gimbals all in one go. So, this is quite a contrast from the last unboxing I did, which is an X56. So let's get down to it. I did open this, make sure everything was all right. And you know, I was kind of excited last night, all right? So, yep, we got a box in a box. In a box. And I will say that I do like very simplistic boxing. I don't think that you should spend a whole ton of money on you know, making the boxes color and printed and all that stuff. I don't think that's very useful. And that's a big difference between the boxes or the companies that try to sell things in retail stores and the ones that don't. Sorry, my dog and my two Falcons are in here, so there might be a little bit of sound in the background, like my dog flapping its ears just a moment ago. So for that, I apologize. And it's an unboxing, so I'm not gonna fix it. Here we are. So we got ample packing. They use the set of foam here. And inside the package, we have cams, which I'm gonna try all of them. We got springs also. I'll try all of them. And I think that's pretty much it. Springs and cams. Wonderful. I like to see these included. Looking at you, WinWing. All right, we have some more cams and a USB. I do like these the USB connectors that VPC. All of these companies that have similar names here. And let's pull out the star of the show. It is actually bigger than I expected it to be. And there's some pieces in here. Let's see what these are. I don't actually know what these pieces are. Oh, I know what they are. I know what they are. These are legs for the desktop use, which, look, I'll look at these things and I'll see if I can determine, you know, how good the desktop use will be, but I do not use desktop joysticks, and I don't recommend that any of you guys use desktop joysticks either, unless you absolutely have to. I know I'm gonna have some people in the comments saying, but Ostringer, not everybody has enough desk space to mount their sticks. And to that, I have to say, I'm sorry that you don't have desk space. I wish that you did, but I gotta test these things in their best configuration. And without a doubt, hands down, their best configuration is mounted. So, that's how I'm gonna test it. And let's take a look here, because this thing is pretty awesome. Like I mentioned, it does, when I opened it, I don't know why, my brain thought it would be a bit smaller. But, I've said it before and I'll say it again, when it comes to these things, I think that the size matters. Adage goes differently than you might expect, okay? When it comes to having leverage for your arms, so these would be the arms in that case. When it comes to having leverage, that size does matter. When it comes to creating strength, size does matter. That's why we're seeing a pretty well-established, larger gimbal pattern going on here. A gimbal that's a little taller, a gimbal that's a little bit bigger. I think that VKB could learn a lesson from VPC, because these are a lot nicer to work with. I'm gonna open this one up here. Did I choose wrong? Yes, I did. Bad guess. Let's get another one. This particular stick, for the meantime anyway, until I decide on testing something new or buying a product specifically, is going to be mounted on one of my Foxx mounts, because I have one that's free. And for that, I grabbed this, which is the adapter plate for Foxx Mounts. So I guess I should mention really quickly what I think about this. This covering is a new covering from Foxx. The paint that they used before I thought was very much inferior to other types of coverings, and this feels a bit better so far, but we will see as we go. But yeah, that's going to connect right here, and this is going to connect into our Foxx mount. So it's nice. I'm gonna still use the cover, but this is the interior, and I think you'll really like this. It is very nice. It is very clean, very well engineered, very well laid out. It feels absolutely beautiful. Now, I have had some issues with twin cam gimbals in the past. We're gonna see how this one pans out in comparison. All right, so this is the mechanism itself, the gimbal, the star of the show. We have our electronics, and this is a nice system that they have here where they can, this plugs into here. I believe it plugs in that way, but I'm not gonna do it. And then it comes out and allows the whole gimbal to be pulled out. I like that. Here is your clutch here, and another clutch there. We have our twin cams here. This feels like it's a fairly light spring, but the length of this arm matters, because the longer the arm that you have, the more detailed of a cam that you can have. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I do see that there is the wire here that goes up to the stick. It does look like there is some flex in that, but what they've done is they've given you enough cable in there to make it so that the flex doesn't occur in one little spot. Because if you take a cable and you constantly flex it in the same spot and it's a small area, then what you're going to do is you're going to fatigue that cable until the wires inside break, because the wires inside are made of metal. So anytime that you want to flex a cable, it's better to have a larger area than a smaller one, because that smaller area of flex is going to create a more acute angle to that flex. So anyway, yeah, it does not appear this has any pretensioners. So it's just got clutches, which do appear to be greased. There is a particular YouTuber out there that says, these are dry clutches, they don't need grease. Well, guess what, dude? They are already greased. Are they greased adequately? Maybe. We'll see. I can tell you that when I'm pushing this, these clutches are clamped down right now, probably for shipping purposes. So they're holding it outside of the center, so it probably needs to be loosened up just a little bit. But I can tell you right now, they're pretty smooth. They do feel, I don't feel any stiction or breakaway in their movement, even though they're kind of tightened down. So that tells me that they are probably adequately greased already. Now, I do receive this question from some people, and people ask me, do I need to grease these pieces? The answer to that question is no. The reason being is that we have bearings here. Anytime that you have bearings, these bearings already have grease inside them. These are closed bearings that have grease that's inside the bearing, so there's balls in here and there's grease between the balls. And that's what creates that smooth movement. You don't want any lubrication here because you want this to grab a hold of this and cause it to turn. And that's where the smoothness of your gimbal is going to come from, is that action there. So no, you don't want to grease these. In some cases where maybe there's a tiny bit of lateral movement, you could use some oil or something like that if that's a problem. But in most cases, it shouldn't be. Now, one thing you might notice is there is a little bit of grease, assembly grease right here on this piece. You probably won't need to re-grease these, at least at any extended clip. I'm looking at it here. Probably just fine. But yeah, all of these joints are all ball bearings. That's wonderful. That's expected too. I mean, all of the competition is going to use a similar type of a situation there. But actually, I'm really impressed with how this is all put together and how well engineered it is. Materials. You guys know how much I like VKB's engineering. I do. I really do. VKB has very well engineered products, but I'm going to say this looks better. I prefer this, at least we're talking from looks here and from just my nerdiness and interest in engineering goes. This is beautiful. So we'll see how it performs. Does its looks equal its performance? That's the question now, isn't it? And for that, we're going to have to do the full review. Thanks for tuning in for this. I really appreciate your viewership. It really does help me. So if you could do me a favor and go down to the bottom there and click the subscribe button, that would be awesome. If you want to get notifications when new videos come out for my channel, you can also click the bell icon. And we have a lot of things going on. We got the review for the X56 coming. We have the full review for the Virpil CM3 that's on its way. We now have the review for the Virpil WarBRD coming as well. So please hit the subscribe button, stay tuned in, fly safe, have fun, and as always, have a great day.